and some of the activities that will be going along on the trail Friday and Saturday. It'll be 175 miles of continuous garage sales, plus a number of events that will be taking place along the trail. And since the weather is good, it'd be neat to take your family and put them in the car, go over to Natchitoches, spend some time in Natchitoches.
Well, it's an amazing 2-day event where you can just kind of make a short weekend.
Yes, go start at Natchitoches and visit around the beautiful old historic city of Natchitoches that was established probably in about 1721, and can then start westward towards the Promised Land, Texas, and 15 miles east of Natchitoches, take a stop at Las Adas, the old Spanish outpost, a military outpost that was actually the Spanish capital of Texas in the early years. Then continue on through Roebling over to and before you get to Manny, take a stop at Fort Jessup. Fort Jessup was established somewhere around in the 1821 to General Edmund Pendleton Gaines, who was in charge of the Western Military District in the new Louisiana Purchase, was stationed there with a group of soldiers to help protect pioneers as they traveled through what had been the neutral strip. The neutral strip was where everybody that was running from the law or had a shady past went to the neutral strip because the boundaries of the Republic of Texas and the Louisiana Purchase was still a little bit sketchy.
Some of us are related to them folks.
Yes, yes, we are. Visit Fort Jessup, come over to Manny, maybe stop in some of the businesses at Manny. Continue on westward. When you get to Toledo Town, this is about 3 miles before you enter Texas and cross the lake. Take a left at Toledo Town, go down about 1.5 miles, and you'll see a church and cemetery on the left, and on the right you'll see a street sign or road sign that says Blockhouse Road. Just travel down that road a short distance, and that's where there was another military outpost that General Edmund Pendleton Gaines had a group of his soldiers during the Texas Revolutionary War, because they thought Santa Anna, after the Alamo failed, would continue on to into eastern Texas, and he had a contingent of soldiers there to stop that. Then go back to Toledo Town, take a left, and go to the crossing, the famous old crossing at Pendleton, which first had a ferry in 1794. Then in 1812, James Taylor Gaines started operating the ferry, and somewhere around 1815, he bought the ferry and continued operating it until he left Pendleton in 1843. Cross the lake, take the first road, or stop at the Pavilion just after you cross the lake, and there's probably 7 or 8, nearly 10 historical markers in the little pavilion there, and you're overlooking the lake.
Right.
And just past that, take the first road to the right, and there will be go to the Gaines Oliphant House, which is a historic 2-story log house, the oldest in Texas. It was built by James Taylor Gaines in 1818.
Amazing.
Yes, it now belongs to the Daughters of the Republic of Texas, and those ladies will be there Friday and Saturday selling some of their items.
And they've done amazing things restoring that house and keeping it standing. Let's put it that way.
It's still standing. They've spent about $250,000 to $275,000 on the restoration,
right,
and they're continuing that effort. Come back, then continue westward to Milam, one of the oldest towns in Texas. Actually had a town plat drawn in 1829. It's not like in a few years being as old as Nacogdoches or St. Augustine, and of course Nacogdoches and St. Augustine has a friendly competition as who the oldest town is. After you leave Milam, continue west. Just as you leave Milam, you go down the hill, a historical marker right on the right-hand side of the road at Bo Rig, or the Bo Rigas, or the Los Bo Rigas Creek, is where Stephen F. Austin spent his first night in Texas on July 16, 1821, when he came into Texas to try to fulfill his father's dream of settling the old 300 colonists down southwest of Houston. Continue on to Geneva, another historic old town. Not a lot to see there, but it is a very historic location.
It's a beautiful ride.
Yes, just as you get into Geneva on the left, there is a couple of historical markers that you might want to stop and read. And if you're like me, you always stop and read all of these historical markers along
Yes,
the way.
sir.
I don't care what state I'm in, I usually stop and read them.
It takes you a long time to get anywhere, doesn't it?
Yes. Then continue on westward to McMahon's Chapel. You'll see a sign and a pink granite marker on the left-hand side of the road that says McMahon's Chapel. Drive down to McMahon's Chapel. It's one of the oldest Protestant churches in the state of Texas, and it's still in existence and still being used. You might want to visit that site. Come back out to 21, take a left, and continue to St. Augustine. And of course, at St. Augustine, they're going to be having their Main Street Festival will be going on. That will be an all-day event on Saturday. There'll be a lot of demonstrations from